Hi everybody, it's Mrs. T from Mrs. T Love Life Laughter, and I'm back from my awesome, amazing, moment-making, memory-making trip to Walt Disney World in Florida. And I brought my friend back. Well, actually, my youngest girlie brought her friend back, but this is Minnie. Isn't her outfit cool? And she's showing that we went in 2014, and this was like such an amazing trip. We had so much fun, and I just wanted to come back and say hi to you guys, tell you how much I missed you all, and to give you a little recap of our trip. We were in Disney for I think 6 or 7 days. So much fun. We stayed at a Walt Disney World resort, which if you can do it, I totally suggest it as being the way to go, because we not only was our villa like a villa, it was awesome. We had a family of 8 because we have 6 kitties, 2 adults, make it 9 because my niece was with us, and we had a 2-bedroom villa with a pull-out couch, 2.5 baths, I think it was. The tub that was in there, oh my goodness, was like a spa with jets. That tub was my friend every night. I don't care what night, how late we got in, I was there. And so staying at a Walt Disney World resort, I would suggest if you can do it, because not only do you get awesome accommodations and amenities, but you also get shuttle and bus service to and from the parks. You get like choice. Our resort we stayed at the Saratoga, and we had 3 different types of pools. It had a separate kiddie pool where the water was only like 2 to 3 inches deep, but it was just like a lot of water fun and water play, like a waterfall shoot down, so that you could kind of lounge out and not get too nervous about your kids being in the water. You were only like 2 feet away from them, and it was so awesome and relaxing. We also had, like I said, the bus and shuttle service back and forth to the parks, which made it really easy for us, because this trip was my first trip driving over an hour at a time. And let me tell you, driving to Florida from North Carolina is not the test you want to take for your first time to drive long distance, but I made it. And once we got to the park, driving was the last thing I was thinking about doing until we had to head home. And luckily, the resort shuttle and bus service made that really easy for us. First thing we did when we got to the resort is we went to downtown Disney, and we got the kids all their lanyards and pin trading starter sets. Now, in all my intentions of trying to be such a planner, I meant to purchase this stuff before we got there, because I was told that it was a little cheaper that way to get it on like Amazon and stuff. But it didn't happen. But I still wanted my kids to have that pin trading experience. And shoot, I wanted myself to have that pin trading experience. So we headed over to one of the Disney stores, and I'm going to show you guys mine. Isn't it pretty? Let me get it right. These are the pin trading sets and lanyards. Basically, it's just a lanyard that says Disney or whatever. I got one that said 2014, so that I know when I started my pin trading, and I'm just going to bring this with me every year and continue on. And I also got a lanyard, what is it called? I think it's a lanyard medallion. So this came, like I bought this separately, but it came with Minnie the lanyard medallion, and then it also came with a Minnie pin. Now, what I've learned from my short experience in pin trading is you are allowed to trade up to 2 pins per cast member or like Disney associate. All you have to do is, if you see a cast member who has on a lanyard, or some of them have it on a pouch, and you like a pin that they have, you just say, "Can I trade with you?" And then they'll show you what pins they have, and you take one of yours and trade it out. Now, the starter kit pins are just pins like this, like Chip and Dale, or Chip from Chip and Dale. Actually, I think that's Dale. And Pluto. And this one is Stitch from Lilo and Stitch, Goofy and Donald. These were part of my starter kit. Now, what I noticed is the starter kit pins are pretty much just like, to start you off, like it's called Mrs. T. But once you start trading with the cast members, they have the pins that have the little itty bitty Mickey head. I don't know, can you see it? Am I losing focus? But the pins you trade with the cast members all have a Mickey head, a little silver Mickey head on the pins. And these are the ones that you get from Disney itself as you start trading. So like what I plan on doing is the next time we go, I won't trade out the ones I have that have the Mickey heads on them. I'm going to continue trading my starter set pins until I collect a lot, and then I'm probably going to get more starter pins, or they sell the pins in groups like all Tinkerbell, all Princess, whatever, and then I'll just continue trading those out, and I'm going to start collecting the ones that I'm getting from the cast members. I have another tip for the pin trading and stuff. These little backs, the pins come with like the Mickey ear, a black rubber back to put on your pin. They don't stay on. Like, I don't know if they just get worn out from being pulled on and off when people are trading, but my daughter lost 2 of her pins. Luckily they were her starter pins, so I wasn't too upset about it. She didn't, when I realized the pins weren't staying on, I started just sticking them in my purse and letting her trade like as I saw a person. But I did find out, like the last day we were there, that there is a locking system you can purchase for the pins that you know you're not going to be trading anymore. And it comes with like a what is it? It's like a metal, it's the metal, like the thing you use to screw in things on beds and stuff. Oh, some kind of wrench. I'll look it up and put it over here or over there. But it comes, you can buy a package of the locking pins, and they're metal and they go on here, and then you screw them on so that they don't come off anymore. So now that I found that out, even though it was the last day we were there, I know when I go back I'm going to get a package of those, or I'm going to order them online. You can always order pins and stuff ahead of time for trading at disneypins.com, and that's where that locking kit is at as well. So that's what I'm going to do on my next trip back. And I love my mini medallion, and the pin trading was really a lot of fun. My kids got a kick out of it. They were playing the game where they were trying to spot the next cast member with the pins so that they could get over there and trade. We did lose a couple of pins, unfortunately, but now that Mama knows how it works and how to get that not to happen, our next trip and our next pin trading should be a lot more successful. So if you have kiddies, or even if you're a big kid like me, I do suggest doing the pin trading because it's really a lot of fun. The other thing that we did that was really awesome, we got 4 park hopper tickets with water park and with fun, which meant that we could basically go between all 4 parks for 4 days. Once we started using them, the 4 days started going off. You could either go 4 consecutive days, or you could go for a day here, skip a day, go another day. Your tickets were good for 14 days. And the awesome part of that for us was we had our 3 oldest with us, so we were able to let them go explore on their own at whatever park they wanted to go with too, while we went to the other parks with the smaller kiddies, and we just had a lot of fun. Our very first day we went to Magic Kingdom, and I think the teenagers headed over to Epcot, and when we went to Tomorrowland, we saw Buzz. We got to have a dance party with the Incredibles. Mr. Frozone, Mr. Incredible, Mrs. Incredible were all dancing with a DJ up on the stage. My kids had a blast. I think they were dancing for like half an hour. So that was a lot of fun. The other thing I wanted to share with you guys was the magic bands. And what it is when you make your reservations, you all parties of the reservations get a fast band, and you can pick a name. You can pick the initials or their full name, however you want to do it, and they inscribe it inside your band. Once you arrive, they activate your band, and it's activated. And from that point forward in your vacation, you can your tickets are attached to your band. You can fast pass for rides. Fast pass just means like you make a reservation to be on a ride between 2 and 2:30. So you show up at that ride at that time, and you get to go to a separate line where you put your band on the little machine, and you get to go in faster than everybody else, hence the words fast pass, which is totally cool, because when you have kids who are like 7, 5, and 3, waiting in line is not something they really want to be doing. So we used our fast pass a lot. Now you can also opt in to add your credit card, like with the hotel you're staying at. You just tell them you want to put a card on file, and then that way you don't even have to carry cash or anything else with you when you're in the parks, because you can pay with everything with your band. It'll attach to the credit card. When you go to pay for stuff, you can either say, put this on my meal plan, which luckily we did have a meal plan, so we each got 3 meals a day. which includes dining at like the palace with the princesses and all that other good stuff. Or you can say put it to the credit card on file, and then they'll just charge whatever card you opted to add to the band. So this is all really a great way that Disney makes it possible for you not to have to carry a lot of cash or bags or anything to worry about getting lost at the parks. Now, the other thing I was going to say is, with the fast passes, we use that so often. And I get you're wondering probably like, well, how do you fast pass a ride? That's when the Disney My Experience app comes in. This app was so, like, such a lifesaver. This app includes maps to all the parks. You can make your dining reservations for all the parks in the app. You can check every ride, see what the wait time is for the ride, see if the fast pass has availability, schedule your fast pass, switch out, like, you can even manage the bands for all your party members. Awesome app. So if you're visiting Disney, I suggest, and they probably will tell you as soon as you get there, to download the My Disney Experience app. It's a lifesaver, and it's something you'll use every single time you step out of your hotel. I promise you, because I did. Now, I said step out of your hotel because the only downside to like the entire trip was we had like no Wi-Fi service inside our hotel. I don't know if it was just the location we were at, but actually no, I do know. I don't think that was it, because a lot of the other people that we saw like on the buses in between parks were saying like, oh, let me use my phone now, because as soon as I get into my room I'm not gonna have any Wi-Fi. Now it may be because I noticed a lot of the cast members, they all used iPads. Like, they were carrying iPads around with them to check your reservations, to answer your questions. So maybe it was just an overload on the system, but you did have the option for free Wi-Fi. Like, there was a guest Wi-Fi that you could automatically connect to. There was also a park Wi-Fi you could connect to. The only thing was you could connect and then the Wi-Fi would just drop you after like 5 or 10 minutes. So the Wi-Fi was kind of iffy. And for a blogger, I felt like I was like losing air because I couldn't find Wi-Fi. But once we got on a bus or got moving like out into an open area, I got my data and everything back. Because that's the other thing, my data didn't seem to be working either. So I would make note of that. That was like the only downside to my entire trip. So guess what? If I can only name one thing that was a downside to my entire vacation, I think I was doing pretty good. I wanted to ask if you follow me on Instagram. If you don't, head over to Instagram, follow MrsTee, MrsTeeh, and you'll get a lot of my MrsTee Insta exclusive photos. These are photographs from the trip, from the parks, from our whole experience that I'm only sharing on Instagram. So if you want to see some MrsTee Insta exclusive pictures, head over to Instagram and click follow, and you can get a bunch of pictures and behind the scenes of our vacation over there. So that I wanted to remind you of. Just happy to be back. I'm happy to be vlogging. I'm happy to be blogging. Did that make sense? Vlogging and blogging. I'm happy to be doing both. And I'm happy to be able to share with you guys everything we did at Disney and how much fun it was. And I hope you are having a day full of love, life, and laughter.